Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. It is Monday morning. Let's see here. What is today? The 26th. January 26th, 2026. Super excited to do today's video. Some of y'all have been probably, I assume most of y'all checked the silver price before you even woke up. In fact, I kind of want to start off. So I'm super excited about today's video for a couple different reasons. One, if you woke up this morning, you checked the silver price, you're probably pretty happy with what happened last night. But the big question on everybody's mind, where does silver go from here? Actually, had a couple people ask me that over the weekend, and a lot of people are wondering, is there a big pullback coming? Is this the end? Are we at the top? What's going on? So we're going to talk about that in today's video. I'm going to explain to you guys why we could see a little bit of a pullback. That will probably be extremely temporary in my opinion, and why there's probably not going to be any major pullbacks coming. But some people look at pullbacks as different. Some people see pullbacks, if the silver price comes down for 1 day or 2 days, they call that a pullback. Some people like me just call that a buying opportunity. But for those people, we're going to explain the two different and why I think we will see a lot of volatility, a lot of action happening. We're going to get into that here in just a few minutes. A lot of excitement, obviously, a lot going on in the economy, and so we're going to talk about all that today. I want to start off first of all showing you guys this right here because I get such a kick out of old comments. 2 months ago, I did a video, $100 silver. Who would buy your silver? And that was to answer the questions from people that were saying, if silver ever hits $100, ain't no one going to buy it. You wouldn't be able to sell it. And now we are seeing the nonsense in that whole tactic. In fact, I want to read one comment that I got a kick out of. Stephen Whitfield left me a comment exactly 2 months ago. It says, $100 silver. We won't see that for years. We're seeing it a lot sooner than people would expect. I think, and that's kind of one of the nicer comments. I've got some comments on here. I was looking for the good one. There was a really good one where I just got called an idiot for even thinking it. Let's see. Who would pay over $500 for an ounce of gold? People still paid for it. People still do at $50 silver. It doesn't mean anything. The truth of the matter is, when the economy is slipping, when people are realizing that their money is being watered down, people are looking for life rafts. And unfortunately, there's two types of people. There's the people that realize it early on and try to position themselves, and there's the people that will never understand until it's too late, and then they want to buy in when silver's over $100. And they just don't understand what's really going on. Let's see. Who will buy $35 silver? The tribe is gaffling yet again. Yeah, we're seeing it continue to climb up in price. And so today's going to be a super awesome video, though, because there is a lot of excitement around silver. And I really hope today's video does really well. For those of you that didn't check the price yet, I'm going to show it right now. Sitting right now at $107.50. And yes, we've seen a pullback. We were at 109. Think about this for a minute. We were at 109.50 last night, and we came all the way down to 106.20. So we lost $3 in a very short time period. Not a short enough time period where it was worrisome. It was a 2-hour time period. The price came down by $3. That's pretty big. That's a big drop for a 2-hour time period. But it's already moving back in the right direction at 107.50. So before I get talking, let me take a quick minute. If you enjoyed today's video, please take a quick minute. Hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts, where you think silver is going to go from here. Be sure and check out one of our other great videos afterwards. We post videos every day, Monday through Friday. Monday through Sunday, literally every day. And I try to post a lot of good videos for you, like good deals on silver, 925 sterling, 90%. We talked about that in yesterday's video. Every Friday we do Q&A. You guys put your questions in on the Friday video, and we answer them on the Saturday video. No holds back. And then so on and so on. So after this video, be sure to check out some of these other great videos. We are nearing the end of the month, and I do try to pump up my ratings right around the end of the month. So I'm saving the best videos for the end of the month, obviously. So what's going on, though, with silver? Everybody just is point blank wanting to know, what could we see a pullback? So there's a lot of stuff going on. Some of y'all remember recently TD Bank out of Canada took out huge short positions on when silver was at $82, saying it was going to go back to $40. Hundreds and hundreds and thousands and millions of ounces that they just went short on. They just basically borrowed that silver, sold it onto the market, and took the money, and essentially they guaranteeing that they're going to pay that silver back. Well, at $82, they're down now. What is that? 82. You're talking 18 and 7, $25 an ounce times every ounce that they sold off. Doesn't look like we're going to see $40 silver anytime soon. I don't even know how low we could go. I mean, under the right circumstances, if margin calls start happening, some crazy stuff happens, they could end up shorting silver even more. You would have to be the biggest idiot out there. Can you imagine? I was talking to one of my friends last night. Can you imagine going into work Monday morning, getting called into the office, and you know right off, you're the metals manager, and you get called into the office, hey, how bad are we right now? I'm sure if they're asking that question, they probably already know, but they want to hear it from the so-called financial expert, the metals manager. I actually got asked to do that job at one bank at one point. I kind of laugh at it now, looking back at it. I'm like, I don't think I would want that position now, but I turned it down because I didn't like the fact that they were selling silver eagles at like $55 when you could go online and buy a silver eagle for like $25. And I said, you're just literally cheating your customers. And so there was no way I want to do it. But someone knew me, and they knew what I knew, and they're like, I think he would make a good candidate. No, thank you. I mean, the job would have been fun, but not running it the bank's way, because banks, they're basically gambling, in my opinion. These are your financial experts, and they're gambling with your money. What are they doing to gamble? Well, they go into work Monday morning, and all of a sudden gets called, how bad are we? Well, we're down $25 on every ounce of silver that we shorted. What options do they have, really, at that point? Double down? Hey, we just lost 100 million, 200 million, whatever. Let's just double down. We'll take a short position. It's sitting at 107 now. It has to go down. It can't keep going up forever. Let's short more. We'll buy a bunch onto the market and we'll short it, and hey, we'll be covered. Or B, they go onto the market and they just buy it back up. They buy those ounces back up. Some people will say force majeure. We're not really going to get into that on today's video. I don't think we're quite there yet where that becomes an issue. And a little bank, or I shouldn't say a little bank, one or two banks ain't going to have that ability to go put that out there just yet. However, most likely, what will they do? They're probably eventually going to have to just go on the market and buy it back. They're not going to be able to stomach these losses. They'll go to the Fed. They'll borrow more money in the overnight lending, and it's an emergency. We need the money. We'll never hear about it. We'll just hear there's drama in the banking system, and essentially they'll buy the ounces back up. Or maybe if they can get free loans from Uncle Sam, get a big bank loan, to keep things afloat, then there's a possibility that they will try to short it again. Here's the thing. If a bank goes under, positions get sold off real quick. And we could see a pullback. We have seen this happen time and time again. We actually seen silver get up to $84 and plunge all the way to $69. And that was about 2 months ago. And that's when those comments started coming up. It was funny because it was right around the time period where I made this $100 silver video. And there was some comments that said, yep, it's already on its way back down. $30 silver is right around the corner. Let me see if I can find that comment because that was fun. But here's the thing. Ultimately, there's a different reason why we may not see a devastating pullback on the silver price. Because it's not like any other asset right now. Silver is a unique asset. Why do people buy Bitcoin? I mean, let's talk about that for a quick minute. Bitcoin right now, it's funny. They make it look like it's up. Oh, my word. At first, when I pulled this up, I said, Bitcoin, what? 87,000? But yet it's up $1,200? How is it up $1,200? Yesterday, when we made this video, Bitcoin was at 88.3. Now it's at 87.7. I said, that's not up $1,200. And then I zoom out, and I like how they hide stuff. Okay, so yeah. Bitcoin went all the way down to 86,000, and then it popped back up a little bit. So yeah, I guess it's up some when you look at it over the one day, but it's just amazing how they can hide this. Yeah, it's up from its devastating day yesterday, because I guess it's 12:13, so technically, yeah, it would be up for today, but we're very little into the day already. So needless to say, though, Bitcoin getting slammed yet again. If you've held Bitcoin for the last year, you're down 17% almost. Congratulations, you lost $17,000. Can't say that with gold and silver. So those people out there that have been buying Bitcoin, why have they been buying it? They're buying it because they, first of all, want to use some of the same lines that silver and gold get to use. That Bitcoin is limited. You can't control it. You can't just print more of it. And to a certain point, that is true. You cannot print more Bitcoin. That's one of the things I like about the blockchain technology. It says how much there is. It says where it is. It says what wallets have it. You don't know which wallet I have, if I have a wallet even. It doesn't tell you that. It just tells you there's this many, and you understand what's going on. But why do people physically need Bitcoin? It's funny because I get so many answers when I ask that question. They need Bitcoin because they think somebody will come along later and buy it for more. Basically, like a stock. If you buy a stock, you hope somebody will buy it off you later for more money. But here's the difference. With a stock, it holds physical buildings. It entails a company that has revenue coming in. Generally, you will probably get some sort of dividend, so it's making profits. It's essentially a small share in a company. So you get to put a little money up, and you get a little bit of their profits every however often they pay dividends. But what about Bitcoin? Okay, Bitcoin, people buy Bitcoin and other cryptos solely for the purpose that someone might buy it back off them later for more money. And then that more money ends up essentially making them a profit. Now, are there some cryptos that have a use, added use, I guess you can call it? Some cryptos do have a use. Like maybe they have it tied to some sort of a monetary system. Maybe they have it tied to a business. Maybe they use it at colleges instead of not taking cash. These are all things that I have read about. Maybe they have it that they want to make it convertible to gold and silver. But this guarantees that if there's 50,000 shares of something, that there's 50,000 ounces of gold tied to it. It keeps the system a little more honest, but like I said, there's runarounds on everything. But generally, cryptos are bought because they think, oh, hey, I can sell it for more to someone later. But now here's the question. Why is silver bought? When I ask this question to some people, the answer that I usually get is, well, it's the same thing. You're hoping someone's going to buy that ounce of silver off you later for more. No, that's not exactly why we buy silver. When people buy silver, they don't just buy it. Some of us, yes, that's why we buy it. That's why I buy silver. I'll be honest. If I buy a ounce of silver today at $107 or whatever, I picked up some over the weekend. Not many. I picked a little bit, a few, because I can't afford much now at these prices. I ended up picking up some stuff at $90 to $100. 90 early on, like Friday, and then the price kept going up Friday, and then I picked up a couple ounces at 100. Even though, it closed, I was like, it's still a little under spot. I'll take it. But why did I buy it? The easy answer is you buy it because the same reason you buy any of the other stuff that was just previously mentioned, because you realize the price will go up. And to a certain point, that's right. I buy it because the price will go up. But not only that, I buy it because the price or the value of the dollar will probably come down. They will probably print more dollars down the road. They will eventually print. More printing means the price, there's more dollars. The dollars are worth less. They have less buying power. They're debasing the currency, but it ain't just dollars. It's all fiat currencies around the world right now, whether it's the yuan, the yen, the loon, the peso, it doesn't matter. They're printing more. They're debasing it. It's worth less, which means you need more of them to buy the same ounce of silver. But is that the only reason? No. We've talked about this time and time again. Big companies need silver. There's no way around it. None. If you want to build a Tesla, you cannot make a Tesla with a piece of paper IOU. Which brings me to this real quick. I want to show this clip. I wanted to show it. I was watching this earlier. I have to shut off the sound on this because obviously for reasons, copyright reasons and stuff. But somebody posted this and they modified it, so it's not the original thing. Needless to say, on Reddit, someone posted this scene, and this was funny. If you've ever seen the movie Dumb and Dumber, there's a scene where the guy, and I'm going to kind of talk about it as I hit it so you guys can watch it. The guy's like, hey, where's my money? It's kind of funny. I don't mean to ruin the movie for you, but if you haven't seen this movie, Dumb and Dumber, it will make you laugh. This scene alone, I couldn't stop laughing watching this scene over and over again, because that's exactly what's going on right now. There's a whole lot of paper contracts out there that says, hey, that's okay. You'll get your silver. You'll get your silver. And here's the thing. These people were questioned years ago. What happens if everybody did want their silver? Right here, I've got the U.S. debt clock pulled up. And here's the thing. You look down here, 176.51 paper ounces of silver, or paper claims, for every 1 ounce of silver that exists. I want you to think about that. They have, and I shouldn't say exists, someone's going to correct me on that they have. So let's say I have a bank account that says $100. I got $100 in my bank account. But I write out, I don't know, 10 $10 checks. Okay, that's no big deal. If all the checks cash, boom, there's the $100. But what happens if I write out 100 $10 checks? Well, a lot of those checks ain't going to get their money. They're not going to get cash. They're going to bounce. And that's kind of what's going on right now with silver. You have a 376.51 paper claims for each ounce of silver that they physically hold. And they've been questioned about this time and time again. And their answer is, it doesn't matter because everybody ain't going to claim their silver all at once. Well, what happens if they do? Well, it's no big deal. Price will solve everything. What do you mean? The price will go up, and then people will take the cash instead. At what point will people demand their silver? You take a look at this a year, since we just showed you a 1-year chart on Bitcoin, it would be wrong to not show you a 1-year chart on silver, as silver has gone in just 1 year from $28, 28.88. You can see it right here on January 27th. And now it's at $107.50, up astronomical. But here's the thing that people aren't looking at. The climb, we were all excited for the gains last year. What did we have last year? We just had last year was 144%. And those were pretty exciting, right? But that was a slow climb. Now we're starting to slowly go vertical, where the climbs are just going more and more. What do I mean by that? Well, yesterday or Friday, we were up $7 on Friday. And it was kind of crazy that the market closed out $7 up. I actually thought we'd see a little bit of a pullback at the end of the day, but people just kept on buying. The markets opened last night and instantly started climbing. As you can see here, climbing. Had a big sell-off right here at 107.16. Dropped all the way down to 105.50, thinking that would gain momentum, but nope. One person came in just as quick as somebody sold. Someone came in and bought that all right back up, and it just kept climbing and climbing. Same, we see a little bit of a pullback, and then one person came in and bought it all back up. Well, here's the thing. Like I told you a few minutes ago, why do people buy silver? Well, little people like us are buying for the profits, or for the wealth preservation, or for our retirement. When we retire, we want to know that our money will still have value. At the rate we're going, at the rate we're printing currency, some of us are starting to question that now. But also, big companies are buying. Companies like Samsung, companies like Tesla, they cannot use paper to build the items that they build. You can't make a cell phone with a silver IOU piece of paper. So they need the physical. They don't care how they get it. They don't care what they pay. They will pay any number to get physical. The demand for physical silver is not going away. That's what people can't understand. And now, every time we see this big beatdown, why do we see a big beatdown? We see some bank had to liquidate their positions because they lost too much money. Or we see some bank put a large short position out there that pushes the price down. Okay? We've seen these time and time again. We've seen the markets get beat up on gold and silver, specifically silver. But now, something is different. They understand now that there's only so much silver. If we want it, we got to pay it. We got to pay up now and get our physical silver now. Big companies don't care what they pay because they're not going to shut down a multi-billion-dollar company because silver went up to $100 or to $200 or even $300. They understand they need physical silver. It's going to come down to who has it, and that's it. It's not just those companies, though. There are rich elites, even some big banks, that are buying the physical as quick as they can get it. Because they know that the cat's out of the bag and the supply that's out there is dwindling. Now, do I worry about some metals? I was telling a friend of mine last night. I told you guys before, too. I have some scrap copper that I save up. I'll save like little electrical wires, little copper wires. I am on the fence of cashing that copper in. I'm not going to get spot price for it. Could copper prices come down? Inflation ramping up, everything should go up. But here's the thing. Just because prices of everything goes up doesn't mean some items won't come down. And the reason I think copper could come down now, and I don't know the future because copper could be manipulated just like silver's manipulated. And the copper value is actually a lot higher than they're telling us. But there's already speculation that a lot of mining companies are going to ramp up copper production because silver is a byproduct of copper. mining. So if you mine copper, you're going to get copper, but you're also going to get some silver. And with silver prices being as high as they are, they want to make as much money as quick as they can. So double the manpower, double the hours, put more people out there, run crews day, run crews night, keep the crews moving, pull as much metal out as you can, and let's get as much silver as we can. Why? Because the demand is clearly there, and there's a shortage in demand. The problem is we're getting less and less silver for the same amount of mining. And the cost of mining that silver and copper is getting more and more expensive. So when people say they can just manipulate it down, if they manipulate it down and the price keeps going up, banks will lose everything they have. They will literally go bankrupt. Now, does it mean every bank will go bankrupt? No, don't mean that. Some banks are too big to fail, and government may bail them out. But like I said before, I don't think government's going to bail out the banks. I think the shareholders, the investors in the bank, the account deposits will bail out the bank. And the depositors, which is people like me and you, are going to all of a sudden go one day and they're going to say, no, you now have shares in the company, shares in the bank. What good are shares in the bank if the bank doesn't have any money? Yes, they will still get profits from the loans that they have outstanding on interest rates that will probably be refinanced at lower interest rates if things start really collapsing. So there's a lot to worry about here right now. Now, back to the starting point of how bad can silver come down. Anytime we've seen silver come down in recent months, it hasn't really been that long. The longest was like 3.5 weeks. Think about that for a minute. We're going to look at the last year. We've seen a pullback here where it literally got up to like $35 and then it plunged all the way back down to 27-ish, right around 27-ish. We've seen that right around April 3rd, in fact. How many of y'all remember April 3rd last year? The end of the first financial quarter. A lot of short positions got thrown on the market. And then all of a sudden we popped right back up. It took a little while. It took a little over a month on that first one. We've seen it again right here when silver hit $54 and it plunged all the way down to like $44. I talked to some people and they're like, an $11 loss. What did you do, T? How did you not see this? Because I've got some friends that listen to what I think and what I'm doing. And in fact, a lot of you listen. It's not financial advice. I just tell you guys my opinion. It pops back up, comes back down, and then all of a sudden it pops back up. And then people realize, nope, it was a psych out. Silver hit $54. They put some propaganda out there, some news, and it beat it down. It gave some people the opportunity to buy. Some of y'all bought, some of y'all didn't. And then we've seen the price eventually pass that and just accelerate forward. We've seen again right here when we hit $84. $84. Who remembers that dip? $84 came all the way down to $69. I talked to some people. They were furious. I said, it's a short game. They can bring it down temporary. But it's getting harder and harder for them to do that. Why? Because when they beat it down, someone out there is buying. Who's buying? China's buying. India's buying. Russia's buying. Any country that realizes what's going on is probably buying. The U.S. now has silver on its strategic stockpile reserve. They could even be buying. However, I think if I was running the show, I would do it a little different. I would just try to buy the refineries. You're the government. Buy a refinery. And then once I bought the refinery, I would put out an email to every single person that has an account and say, we're willing to pay $1 under spot for 90% silver. Why would they want that? They got to hold it. Because if the government owns the refinery, the government knows the price of silver is going to go up. They don't have to worry that it might take 3 weeks before they can process 90% silver into 999 silver. It guarantees they will have their silver in a month. I would do that if I was Samsung. I would buy a refinery. If I was Tesla, I would buy a refinery. Soon, somebody will catch on to that, and they're just going to buy the refineries. What does that mean for us? It means that the opportunity for you to be able to buy silver from a refinery will probably go away, because all the silver that comes out of that refinery is going to be going to solar panel makers, to cell phone makers, to Tesla makers, to whatever uses silver, because companies are just going to start sucking it up. And even governments are going to start sucking it up. I saw something earlier about confiscation of silver. I always laugh when I hear that. Is it possible? Anything's possible. Most people are going to say they lost it in a boating accident. And who knows? Some people would just rather throw it away before they gave it up. For free, at least. But, even back then, you didn't really see confiscation like people make it sound. They got paid for it. It wasn't like an outright take. If all of a sudden they forced you to sell it, well, back then they didn't have taxes the way we have taxes today. So that's why some people won't sell. Some people will just hold assets indefinitely until they croak. And then most likely when that goes over to someone else, well, they're gone, so it doesn't matter. Needless to say, the opportunity for people to get their silver is going to get harder and harder. Some people won't even have it. Some people have already sold their position. They sold because, silver's never been at $50. We're at the peak. We better hurry up and sell. They sold at 60 and 70. Why? Because now we're 40% above the all-time high. You better hurry up and sell. They sold at 70, 80, 90. They haven't had any time to sell at 100. But there are people going this week selling. I talked to one friend. He said he actually already has appointments scheduled next week. People wanting to dump their silver. Well, we'll see what the price is when they go to dump. And they will probably dump because they don't understand why they bought silver. They see the profits. Maybe they bought silver at 50, 70, maybe even 80, and they see a profit. Hey, I made $20 an ounce. All right, good. What's $20 going to get you? I don't know. Maybe I'll go out this evening, go to the club, have some fun, get some drinks, get some steaks. And in a month from now, it will be a thing of the past, and the silver won't be there. The price will be. The price will probably be a lot higher. Someone told me they see silver going. I laugh at this a little. I heard silver's going to go to 140 by June. I laughed. I said, by June? I said, you could see 140 within a week or two at this rate. Why? We went up $7 on Friday. The American markets aren't even open at the time of me filming this at almost 1 in the morning, and we're already up almost $5. Safe to say the markets will probably open tomorrow. We will be close to 108, and then all of a sudden American markets open and we could jump up another $5. Be at 113. And then all of a sudden overseas markets open up again on Tuesday night, and boom, there's another $5. And it ain't going to take long before the price escalates. What was it that Bank of America put out for their predictions for silver? I want to say it was like 270, 280, 380. Bank of America predicts gold and silver. Let's see if we can find it real quick. I think it might have been this one. If it ain't here, I'm going to go back and find it through news articles. Yeah, it's not that one. Okay, so we're going to back out one. We're going to hit news articles. 375. I was close. I said 380. Okay. Let's take a look at this real quick. Oh, we got 375 here, but that's not Bank of America. This was the article right here. 309. I'm sorry, Bank of America. Got to give them credit on their bold prediction. When this article broke, gold will be the primary hedge performance driver of 2026. Silver could top out between 135 and 309. What did some of us say? Some of us, including myself, said, maybe they finally understand what's going on. And that's why they came up with these numbers. Because their judgment has always been wrong. Year after year after year. These banks put their predictions in, and they're always way under. So when I saw this, 135, 309, I'm like, I guess they're finally catching on. Or they're still under. We just don't know it yet. I mean, clearly their gold prediction, which you can see right here, was under. Their gold prediction for this year, $4,538 per ounce in 2026. But silver prices could peak between 135 and 309. First of all, that's a huge range. I mean, I'm like, what the heck? But they've been wrong every year. Do you think they're wrong again? I'm starting to really think these numbers might even be low. 135, we're right there almost now. Some people are like, it's still $30 away. Not at the rate we're going up. At the rate we're going up at 4 or 5% a day, when you're looking at a $100 baseline, you're looking at 105, 110, 116 maybe, 121. It ain't going to take long at that rate. But again, someone out there is going to say, you're assuming that they're going to keep pulling 4 or 5%. Here's the thing. Remember, all these short positions that banks are holding, they need their position. They need to get out of it. They're in trouble. The amount of money they're going to lose is going to be insane. This is not financial advice, nor is it meant to be. This is just my opinion and what I see happening. They're going to get smart. They're going to get out. They're going to try to start getting out. And we're going to see the growth of this stuff just exponentially go up. 5% of $20 is only $1. 5% of $100, that's $5. And as it keeps going, we're going to see the bigger and bigger and bigger gains. People don't get it, though. I talked to someone the other day. Actually, I even did a video on this topic, kind of, because that's what I told the person about this video that I just made about the person that wanted to sell some of their silver for the car. And I said, I wouldn't sell your silver. I would take the loan at 0%, and I would end up basically keeping my silver and just sell the 6 ounces that I need to sell each month to cover the loan. Well, when I made that video, silver was at like $85. And I said, but by the end of the year, you may only have to sell 5 ounces of silver to cover your payments at that point. And I had comments on that video. Wishful thinking. You're assuming silver will go up by that percentage. What percentage? 25%? You think 25% gains for silver is unrealistic? Somebody did. No, I don't. We did 144% last year. And anybody that thinks that 25% this year is unrealistic, in a world where people are now freaking out about silver, especially the companies that need it to produce the items that they make, or the big banks that owe back hundreds of millions of ounces of silver that they ain't got. They're the ones that are freaking out. They're the ones that are going to drive it up. It ain't going to be people like me and you at this point. I mean, we will play a part in it, a small part, because I can tell you, as for myself, I don't have the money to buy ounces of silver right now. Someone asked me, would you buy some right now at $100? I bought some over the weekend, picked up a couple ounces here and there. But at the end of the day, no, I don't want to pick up too much at these prices, but you'll make a profit, won't you? Yeah, I will, but shoot, it's getting expensive. I was telling someone the other day, man, I remember when I could take a portion of my retirement check and I got a bunch. I remember when $100 got me 7 ounces of silver. 7 ounces for $100. Now, I couldn't afford 7 ounces if it saved my life. It's getting too expensive. And more and more people are going to realize that very soon. Look at this right here. Here, scroll down just for a minute. I don't usually like showing advertisements, but look at this right here. Since this is from a bullion company that I wouldn't have anything bad to say about Money Metals. $3,661 for a kilo bar of silver. 1 ounce of silver, a 1 ounce silver bar, $115. That's bumming because I had a chance to buy some 1 ounce silver bars the other day for $90. I said, I can't afford it right now. And they were at max bars, so I definitely didn't want them. They're kind of low on my... Would I take them? I mean, I guess I would if the right deal was there, but who knows. 90, even with silver sitting at 106, I probably would have to pass right now just because the price is up there. Big question, though. Could we see this come down? I mean, here's the thing. In 3 days, 3 trading days. That's Thursday, Friday. I can't even say Sunday night, but we'll say Thursday, Friday, and Sunday because technically we did trade in Sunday from like 5 till midnight. Excuse me, at least in my time. Even if we gave back 3 days gains, would I be upset? Let's take a look at 5 days gains. 3 days gains was at 92. Could we see 92 again? Could. Anything that goes up in a day could probably come down in a day just as easy. But can it stay down? At what point do you think big money will start buying again? I mean, we're seeing small dips, and as it dipped right here to 106, somebody stepped in and just bought it all right back. Will they try to get down here to 106 again? They could. 105 right here, but this was off the initial climb. It hit the all-time high of 107, and they're like, beat it down. 105. Boop. Right back higher. Try to beat it down some more. Boop. Even higher. And now, here we are. Everybody's now wondering. And like I said, you guys are watching this at 6 a.m. in the morning. If you catch this when this goes up, this goes online live at 6:02 every morning. I've thought about changing my Sunday time, but on average, 6:02 every morning. More and more people are getting scared. More and more people need silver for everyday items. The reason people are buying silver is not because it's speculation. Someone will pay more. In fact, I expect to see the silver go even more higher because a lot of, at some point, crypto holders are going to get out of crypto. Taking a quick look at crypto again real quick. A lot of stuff follows Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin takes hits, a lot of people pay attention. And it generally, drags down a lot of other coins. Do I think all coins are bad? No, I don't think that. I think the blockchain is very useful. I think some coins will stay in. I don't think Bitcoin's going to go away, per se. But I do think Bitcoin can take devastating hits. You go back far enough. Let's look at the big one. The first time we got up to $17,000, we plunged. And we plunged hard. All the way down to $3,000 from $17,000. Think about that. You had $17,000. Now you got $3,000. Again, we've seen it go up. 84,000. Was that 84 or 64? I'm sorry, 64,000. And then we've seen it plunge all the way down to 16,700. Then we've seen it go all the way up to new all-time highs of 123,000 roughly, depending on what numbers you look at. I actually seen 127 one day, but this chart shows it at 122. And now we're sitting at 87. The thing is, could this continue down? Could we be right here in this area right here of the last drop, and we're about ready to just fall off another cliff? You know, I know some people out there would be like, it doesn't matter to me. I'll just buy more. Okay. You buy more. And they'll make the argument, yeah, if silver goes down drastically, you'd buy more. Absolutely. I would. But like I said, there's a difference between silver and crypto, or silver and any other investment. Silver, people need. They need the physical ounces. I can't stress that enough to people. As long as they need physical silver, nothing else will do. Are they going to shut down the whole world's economy? Everything that uses silver, is tech going to just cease to exist because silver got too high? No. People will pay it. You might not pay it. I might not pay it, but somebody will pay it. And you know what? If I need a new cell phone, and my new cell phone is now $1,200, even though my last one was like $800, you know what? $1,200 it is. Am I going to gripe? Absolutely. Complain? Yep. Am I going to buy it? Yep. And I'm just going to finance it. And at the end of the month, my payment might be $5 more than it was before. And, oh well. Most people don't own half the stuff they own anyway. They say, hey, check out my new car. Okay. What's the payment? Oh, it's this much. I said, and how long? 6 years, 7 years in some cases. Okay. Same with houses. You don't own your house. Most people don't own their physical house. They owe money on it. Their car, they owe money on it. Their toys, they owe money on it. Some of them, even their miscellaneous spending credit cards, they owe money on it. I mean, shoot, I owe some money on my credit card still. 0% interest. 12 months. I bought that silver when it was $32. Some of y'all remember. $32 silver, though, looking pretty good now. Now that I can't afford $100 silver, I get to pay off that credit card. I've been working at it little at a time. But some people are not going to realize. And the same people that didn't want to buy at 50, didn't want to buy at 80, didn't want to buy at 100, now they're starting to get a little antsy. We've seen it at Bitcoin. In Bitcoin, people didn't want to buy Bitcoin when it was 10,000, 20,000. Now they want to buy it at 28, at 88. Sorry, I said 28. At 88,000. There are people buying right now left and right on Bitcoin. Oh, well, it's a big dip. We got to put more in. Okay. Keep guessing. Taking a quick look at assets based by market cap. We got gold right now at $35 trillion. Pretty amazing, the price of gold right now. Over $5,000. $5,058 to be exact. Up another couple percent, or 1.5%. We got silver right now. $6 trillion. Not only did it pass NVIDIA, but it passed NVIDIA by another $1.5 trillion. Sitting right now at $106 per ounce on silver. We got NVIDIA sitting at number 3, Alphabet, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Bitcoin is still number 8. Not much room, though, between number 9. Number 9's about ready to probably pass it if it has another bad day. We'll see. I think we're going to see some exciting fireworks on Monday. We could see silver pull back. If we see it pull back a little, don't be quick to want to give up your position. Some people will. And I think they'll regret it later because they did. 104. 106. Advertisement. 106. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. 108. We actually got up to 109, but not many people caught the 109. Silver. 108. Banks 2. I wonder why they say Banks 2. I wouldn't be surprised to see another bank go under within a week. Another Silicon Valley or another major player in the banking taking a big hit. Inventory drain for January, down 40%. Critical levels, I don't know how true that is right there. Gold futures. Let's see, when was this posted? What's this one? Some people don't have the patience to build real wealth. But, hey, you guys have already thought about that, right? What's next move after gold and silver? Is there a 1929 style playbook? I need to do a video on that, actually. Let's see. My girlfriend, finally, an investment is gaining some momentum. What should we buy with all this money once it's over? Already thinking about my next investment move to secure the future of my children. I am not buying some BS car or things like this, by the way. My money, not ours. Some girlfriend, not wife. That's funny. Here's the thing. So many of these people are going to come out of the woodwork and be like, oh, this, oh, that. And they're going to have stories. And this kind of stuff always drives me nuts when I see this, because so many people have been against silver for a long time. Very few of us had the foresight start. And some of y'all are new. Some of y'all just heard about it. When I get to know a lot of you guys, that's one of the things I love about having YouTube, is I really get to know you guys. That's why I'm so big on replying to your comments. Some of y'all just found out about silver not too long ago. I remember reading a bunch of comments. In fact, while I'm talking, I'm going to scroll through and I'm going to kind of look for some comments. Let's take a different video, though, because I've already read all these. I kind of like seeing it new to me, too. Let's say 100. Doing a search here real quick. Boom. Boom. Let's see. Show all. $100 silver. I've said it numerous times. 100. Kind of want to go back just a little bit to find some good stuff. Giveaway. Don't want to talk about that. Unboxing. What's that one? $1,000 gold. I like reading the comments that specifically talked about silver prices. Unfortunately, I think some people went and is $100 silver likely? Ooh, that sounds like a good one. Let's see. Let's read the comments from here. That was 4 months ago, though. Seems like so far when talking about it. So while I'm talking, I'm just going to be kind of skimming through. A lot of people just don't understand when it comes to silver to gold. They don't understand that it's real money. And when you're dealing with real money, anything can happen. Kind of scrolling through. There's a lot of comments on here. I wish there was a way to search all the people that called me crazy. Let's see. Bro, my family's from the Philippines too, so I understand what you mean. Some of y'all know I'm hoping my dream one day is to go to the Philippines and live. But who knows? Even dreams sometimes never get achieved. Special thank you to those of you that said, yeah, you ain't going to achieve your dreams if you don't watch your health. Don't want to take your medicine. I know someone sent me a message the other day and they're like, that's BS, dude. You forgot to take your diabetes medicine. You run 500 and you forget? What the heck is wrong with you? I'm trying to remember. It's a new thing to me. Medicine, I'm not a big fan of it. So just picked up 3. Let's see what this one says. Pilo, what's up, buddy? Just picked up 3 of those exact year state quarter sets, $105. So for those of you that don't know what that is, he picked up 15 silver quarters for $105. Let's do some math on that real quick. 105 divided by 15. He picked those quarters up for $7 a piece. They're like $19 now. Let's see. Scrolling through. Congrats on 15,000 subscribers. You earned it, my friend. Thank you so much. Please, if you're still here watching, take a quick minute and hit that thumbs up button. Help me out. Can't thank you enough for it. Hit that subscribe if you're not subscribed. We won't be any more screwed than we already are overall. If silver hits $100 per ounce, maybe a little more than today, but it won't be the end of the world. The sky won't burn. The price will be higher for goods and services, which is inevitable anyway, as fiat currency is designed to be devalued and debased over time. Your goal is to have assets that have value and some cash. But holding cash isn't the path to maintain value. Silver is undervalued, in my opinion, at $30 to $40 to $50 in 2025. Given the industrial demand for it globally, even if retail silver coin buying market is low right now. So you can figure out it makes sense to take a shot with silver. Not financial advice. Absolutely. Let's see what it called when you like inflation in silver, but nothing else. Yeah, I don't really know what that means. What's it called when you only like inflation in silver, but nothing else? Silver is just an element that doesn't change. Here's the thing that people don't understand. If money was still silver, prices would not be going up, because the silver maintains value. It's the fact that we can mass print currencies, dollars, yens, yuans, pesos, loons. That's what makes it to where them dollars are worth less. If they made an agreement that they were not going to print any more currency and they stuck to it, we wouldn't see inflation happening the way it's happening right now. But the thing is, they're not going to do that. So, who knows? Let's see. Spot on, dude, without voiceover. Crap. Oh, yeah, some people don't like when I do voiceovers. I do that with short videos, though, like the 1-minute videos. Sometimes I'll use other people's content because it's allowed. I was looking for one of the negative ones. I love reading the negative ones now. Compelling logic, great video. $50 silver in the 80s is comparable to today's dollar. Not sure what that means. $50 silver in the 80s is comparable. So here's the thing. When people say $50 silver in the 80s, here's the thing. Back then, if we were to take that price and adjust it for inflation, we should have $180 silver right now. And we don't have that. Let's see. I plant, garden, cut my own firewood, trap, hunt wild hogs for meat. I fish regularly. Great stuff to yeah. Here's the thing. I need to talk about that. I need to talk about stage 4. When the currency really starts losing its value, what that means. I need to do that in another video, since this one's almost over now. I'm pretty much done the video. I was just kind of looking through to end it on a couple little more comments. I know some people don't like these long videos, but hey, the short videos, when I was doing the 10-minute updates for y'all, Some people did not. They didn't have the views like the long ones. So I just decided, you know what? If people vote when they with their watch. You are voting on what you want to see based on what you're watching. Because you guys watch the long videos more, I make longer videos now. I was doing both for a while so I could see with my own eyes what people are watching the most. Oh, yeah, this might be a good one. Funny that we are trying to convince others that a $100 silver price, a $100 silver is a piece of cake. It really going much higher. It's really going much higher, and it's going to be fun for us as others are pissed off that they didn't see it. Oh, okay. It wasn't what I thought it would be, but it's absolutely right. I talk to people now that sold their silver at 50 and 60 and they're pissed. And here's the thing. There's nothing that can be done about it. It's done and over with. You sold, you sold. You got two choices. You get back in at $100 or now $108, or you stay out and hold your fiat paper and wait. But we've seen this time and time again. I won't lie either. I regretted getting rid of my Shiba when I did. I got rid of it at like 35 cents and it went all the way up to 72. I felt bad for a while until it came crashing back down. Let's see. Don't eat OYR. I'm not sure what OYR is. $100 an ounce silver is likely eventually. 4 months later, 120 days, we're there. So it's definitely all getting exciting. And here's the thing. A lot of people just are going to miss it. Let's see what we're at right now. $107. Even if silver comes back down to 102, 103, even 100, doesn't faze me at all. Because ultimately the demand is picking up for it. When people see silver go to 109 and then it comes down to 107, people see that as a buying opportunity. When people see silver get up to 110 and then comes down to 100, that means you can buy 10% cheaper than you could have bought in the other day. Those are the people that are buying. And they don't really care if the price dips. I don't care if the price dips. I mean, and I look at it all the time. But we're going to see what happens. Let's take a look at the time real quick. 1 hour. I guess that's it. I don't want to be much longer than an hour. I know some people like the long videos, but an hour is a pretty good number. With that being said, hopefully you hit that subscribe button. Help me out. We are stuck at 15,500 subscribers. Refuses to pass that. I don't know why. It's like YouTube doesn't like me, but I know y'all do. Definitely check out some of these other great videos, and if you guys enjoy them, I'm going to keep posting them. I know y'all do. So thank you so much for watching, commenting. A lot of excitement. Who knows? I may even go live one of these nights this week. I wanted to go live over the weekend, but then we had that cold and I got super busy. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Hope to see you again on T-Square Talk. Keep stacking, my friends. Price is only going to go higher. We may see a little bit of a dip, but I don't think it's a devastating pullback. I just think it's just a game. They can wait a week. People will sell at $100. It will slow down the rise. And once they eat through all that $100 silver, we'll be continuing on even higher. So thanks for watching, people, and I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Don't forget to click on one of these other videos. Some really great content. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.